Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Thanks for clicking on today's video. In this episode, we're going to be going to the annual Coffs Harbour Antiques and Collectors Fair. Now, it's held at the end of June every year. I went a few years ago, but I sort of went there a bit impatient. You know, my mind probably wasn't in the right place then, but this year it is. We're going to give ourselves plenty of time. We're going to do some laps of the floor. We're going to take some footage and sort of see what displays, what the stalls have, what the vendors have, and hopefully we can pick up some good stuff. Now, you don't get good stuff unless you go out and get amongst it. So make the effort, get out there. You never know what you're going to find. So today's just another example of that. But before we get to the tour, I just want to thank Marcus at his channel at Dad and Lads Gaming. I'll put it down here, the little banner. Yeah, he just sort of mentioned my channel and said that, you know, yeah, check it out. So thanks to all his sort of viewers and those that subscribed over here. Really appreciate it. They got a great channel. They do great content. They collect a lot of the same things that I do, such as, you know, video games. I love Warhammer, comics, movies, music, and they love technology. Marcus has a fantastic collection of CRTs, PVMs, 4K, like he's into everything like that. He even loves his arcade cabinets, which he's working on at the moment. So for those who aren't subscribers of his channel, check it out. I know there's a lot here that probably already are, but yeah, they just have a lot of fun. They take the piss out of each other. It makes me laugh, and I wanted to incorporate some of that stuff over here to sort of have a bit of fun. So yeah, and Tommy, I do collect Warhammer. I'll put a picture up somewhere here, just to look my little stuff. But I haven't painted for a long time. One day maybe we'll get back to it. So anyway, until then, in this episode, we're going to start the tour and we'll see what we picked up at the end. We'll do a bit of a pickup section. So yeah, hang in there, guys. So this is the exhibition hall here. As you can see, it's quite large. The previous time I went, it was in a really small building, lower ceiling, quite packed, quite stuffy, hard to get around with all the people, and it was hard to see the vendors' tables. So this year, fortunately, it's in a bigger room and there's plenty of space. So I got there early on the Saturday, about 9:30. I wanted to sort of get there before the crowd, see what was available before the place got picked. So it's on the Saturday and the Sunday, and I wanted to give myself plenty of time to get around without too much hassle. Plenty of tables there, that's for sure. I was excited. And then there's just some license plate covers, license plates from Canada. I thought they were pretty interesting shapes, and I've never seen those ones before. This dream kitchen was probably from the 60s, from my guess. I just thought it was a pretty neat thing, and I remember, you know, my sister had similar things to like that. So this guy was painting little figures or miniatures. I wanted to buy something, I really did, but there was nothing that I really sort of was familiar with. There was no video game stuff, no comic sort of stuff, so I did pass. That robot, I wanted it, I missed out. I was so devastated. It was like a Japanese robot. I slept on it, someone else bought it. Anyway, I did pick up a couple of things from this guy's table. He had a few little bits and pieces, and yeah, just some nice things to display in my room. This was just some random table I thought I'd film. Watch out for my dreaded finger up the top. I forgot to bring my phone holder to film, so it sort of slipped in here and there. Those other ones I didn't show, but this one I did. Just some toys, cars, things like that. This table had some pretty interesting stuff, and the people that ran it were really nice. So I bought a pen set for my wife, actually. It was a gold-plated pen set from the 70s, and they did a nice price on me. They had some really nice cameras there. You can see old cameras. Some of the prices were a bit steep on those, but I guess if you know, you know. This guy had so many bottles. I've never seen so many in my life. I don't know how you would clean all these before like shows and displays, but there was just a huge amount. Different shapes. I guess people have their bars. They have their man caves. I guess they can sort of, you know, show these things off. It was massive. This guy was selling sodas. So these are probably old soda bottles. Some of them were like $60, $70 each. I couldn't believe it. Old American, probably even some European stuff in there, was like Coke, Fanta. Again, different shapes. Just goes to show there's collections and collecting for everybody. Yeah, really, really unique stuff. And there was quite a lot of train items in this side of the room. It was really busy. There were a lot of people. It was hard to get some fluid film, but you can sort of see I'm not too much into trains, but I thought I'd just film it here just to see if any of those watching would be interested. This guy had his train set up. The kids were enjoying it. I thought I'd have a look here while someone was playing around with it. When I was younger, I was into trains, and I would have always dreamt of having something like this with all the little models, the buildings, the figures, the train station. So yeah, it was a nice thing to see. And these were sort of displays that were people that were coming in could vote on. So you could win a prize for having the best sort of collection or the best display. And you can see this Vegemite sort of display here. Everything you could ever imagine that was Vegemite. So Vegemite's probably Australia's most famous product, besides like the Tim Tams and the hash brown burger. So yeah, it's equivalent to the English Marmite, I would say. This is just a little collection of cars. I'm not sure what era they're from, but the cars themselves are probably from like the 70s and the 80s. Just old Australian muscle cars like the Holdens, the Fords. There's like Tiranas there. There's some Falcons. But yeah, nice little selection of cars there. If you know what sort of era they're from, then I guess you could appreciate them more than what I did. And here was a harmonic analyzer. I don't know what it is. It was old. And if you know what that is or what it was for, then yeah, there you go. But it was an old piece of technology. I thought I'd film it. And on the right-hand side here, there was just a little selection of motorbikes. I don't know what era or relevance they had, but they were there. And finally, there was this Smurfs collection. I'd seen this one previously, and I guess it's growing bigger and bigger. And it was probably the only video game I saw at the meet was that Smurfs up the top there, that Wii. There was VHS, a heap of the old plastic figures, which I had a lot of when I was young. And I used to enjoy the Smurfs, and I still buy Smurfs video games, and I still have a little bit of nostalgia for that as well. All right, it's pretty exciting footage, right? I know, I understand, it's fine. We didn't find any video game stuff at all, but I'll go through some of the things I picked up. Now, I did get this Coke hat. It was like $5, and I got, I wear a lot of hats, so I thought I'd just buy it. I was in the mood to buy stuff that day, and I saw that. It's definitely not a vintage hat, I don't think, by any stretch of the imagination. But anyway, we got that. Got a hat. Next thing we got was this. I got this Clone Wars bag. I saw this. I think it's brand new. It probably will come in handy to carry something. But yeah, I like the Clone Wars show. I really enjoyed that. Actually, you know what? I haven't watched the Clone Wars when it was Rebels that I enjoyed. I haven't watched Clone Wars yet, but yeah, that's good. And there's Ahsoka. Love Ahsoka. So that's that one. Got that bag, $5 now. I got a couple of cars, toy cars. I got this Flash Justice League toy. I think this one was like $10. So I have got a little bit of a display of cars at the moment. So I saw this one. Looked pretty cool. That was the only one I had. And yeah, I thought I'd pick that one up. And then there's another one that I got with this Iron Man one. I think I saw these a while ago in department stores, but I didn't pick it up. I do like that sort of, original Tales of Suspense 39 sort of image of Iron Man, the first Iron Man in comics. And yeah, I picked that one up as well. You can see there's a few of the range on the back. I was going to get the Loki one, but I ended up just sort of going with that one for that day. So that's the Iron Man one. And at that same booth, this guy, at the back just behind, I saw this stack of comics, you know what I mean? So I said, they comics? He brings them over to me. And these ones weren't bagged and boarded. I just sort of bagged and boarded them up myself. And I'm flicking through them. There's a lot of the same stuff. And I'm like, I'll give you $1 each. He's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And he wanted to sell them all as a lot. So he was like 60, and I ended up paying $45. There's a fair bit of shit in here, to be honest. But the only good thing about it, that was a lot of sort of independent sort of style things. And I do like the independent sort of style comics. So there's a lot of this stuff. I had never seen nearly any of this stuff. A couple of shit DC Phantom stuff. Even some of this old Kirby, Captain Victory. There's another one there. And there's and as you can see, sort of, this is one of the better covers. Like, one of my favorite artists is Joe Chiodo. So there was that one. It's a little bit sort of dirty, but anyway, we can probably try to resell a few of these. But as I said before, there was another couple of sort of cool ones here. Lost Planet. Like I said, just sort of old Eclipse books. This old sort of, I'm not sure if it's a Japanese sort of style one, and then there's just Ginger Fox. Again, just random sort of indie sort of style stuff. As we sort of go down, you can sort of see that there was just multiple copies of some of the items, just 5, 6, 7, 8 copies. So if I ever do sort of garage sales, which I want to do in the future, do little markets, do flea markets, I can just pop some of these in for like $2 or $3 each and just sort of get rid of them. Even as soon as they go into sort of bags and boards, they look a lot better. So I picked up those comics. There was also a comic vendor there, so I picked up a few like sort of single issues off him. You know, again, I mostly focused on independent comics, except for this one. This sort of, apparently this has got some sort of first appearance, but it's worth nothing. So I picked that one up for a couple of bucks. I got this Will Eisner Spirit reprint. It looks a nice, beautiful cover, nice colour. I think it's probably from like the 40s maybe, so it's supposed to have been reprinted in this one. So I put that in a nice Mylar bag. It looks really good. And this one here, this sort of skeleton girl, I don't know, like I said, just random. I just love random stuff. I just love obscure indie titles. And again, this is just an Invisible. Everything Invisible is pretty popular, so I thought I could probably sell that, but I don't think it's worth that much. Again, this old Dirty Pair magazine, Dirty Pair comics. So this is like sort of manga sort of style stuff. And finally, this other. Yeah, I never really heard of this one either. I think it's called Ants Entertainment Shorts, something like that. So yeah, there's that. So just those books, nothing special, nothing exciting, but we had to buy a thing. Now, I think now the two final things I got was a couple of toys. Now, I got this old sort of, this one's had listed from like the 40s and or the 50s. So it looks like it's a British made toy. So what you sort of do, you've got to get all the balls into the hole. So yeah, I thought it just looked good with some of my old really vintage and antique sort of style games. I've got a couple, not too much. I'll grab that one. And I grabbed this little toy here. I'll put a bit of footage of how it works, or will it work right in front of me here? Yeah, it will. So it just sort of spins. I've got a little sort of setup of toys and other figures in the other room. So I thought I'd just put this next to it. And it's like from the 80s. I don't think it's anything sort of special, but it's got nice colour. You know, the red's nice, the blue's nice, and the green, and just the aeroplane. So that was pretty much all I picked up. Like I always go to these things sort of not expecting, you know, to find anything exciting. I never saw any video game stuff, but anyway, we got what we got. All right, that's the end of the video. I won't drag it on too long. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video, you know what I mean? I appreciate it. And if you've got your own channel, put it down in the comments, you know? Like, I'd love to see all your channels, your collections, what you're picking up. You know, I just love to watch these small YouTube channels. What they're picking up gives me sort of ideas of what things to look for when I'm out or when I'm on eBay or whatever. So really appreciate all the new subscribers. I appreciate all the comments, all that kind of thing. And I've got at the same event as this, there was actually a swap meet the week after. So I went to the swap meet, had a lot more success. So that's the next video, is a swap meet. Lots of video game stuff. So until next time, appreciate you joining, appreciate you hanging through to the end. And will the remote control turn off in one go? See you guys. No, it doesn't.